Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2010 Volkswagen Jetta TDI. Up front is a 2.0 liter turbocharged inline-4 diesel engine, and down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this TDI because it is not tuned or deleted. Most of these vehicles that I drive, or most vehicles with the TDI setup that I'm able to film, are usually tuned and deleted, meaning the computer has been recalibrated and certain emissions parts on the cars are removed so the cars breathe better, drive better, and make more power. This isn't that. This is all factory stuff, and it even has the ECU update post-Dieselgate. So this is as true to what the actual TDIs were like as I can physically find, and I'm excited to share that with you here today. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 2-liter diesel inline-4 under the hood. Well, from the factory, supposedly it makes about 138 horsepower. Again, this is all a factory vehicle, and so it's making close to that, if not probably below it, after the ECU has been changed. So, in the 2000s, Volkswagen got in trouble because their ECUs were designed to lie to the government about how clean their vehicles were running. When the government realized this, they forced Volkswagen to either buy the vehicles back or have this fix put into place. This has the fix put into place, meaning it cut down on the power of the vehicle. So, let's see how much power they gutted out of this TDI Jetta. Here we go. It's not bad. It's honestly not as awful as I thought because you still get that diesel torque, which I love. It revs to like 3,800 RPM before it shifts. It's not very powerful, but it's not a dud. I was truly expecting like a Geo Metro level slow experience here in the Jetta, and it's not fast by any means. It's definitely not a fast car, but it's also not awful. It's fine. It's fine enough. So if you buy a TDI Jetta or Golf that has had the ECU update done and it's not tuned or deleted, it's not going to be an awful experience. It's fine enough. Do I love it? But it's not the bottom of the barrel that I was truly expecting, so that's a big win. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed automatic transmission. That's fine, but you could find these in manual, and that is, of course, the preferable way to own one of these, get a little bit better fuel economy with the manual as well. Last but not least, the Jetta is, of course, front-wheel drive. How does it feel to drive the Jetta TDI? Well, as I mentioned, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but you do get that low-end torque still from the diesel, and so it carries you quite happily. The 138 horsepower is fine. Ride quality is a little bit hard. Now this is, a 16-year-old vehicle, and the Jetta was never praised for its handling or ride quality even when it was brand new, so it's passable. I don't love it, but we do have pretty good visibility out the front and back, so I do like that aspect. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 physical gauges and a screen. Off to the left is my tachometer and coolant temperature, and off to the right is the speedometer and fuel. And we do get that little black and white screen in the center. Very, very rudimentary, but it works, and it gives you some solid information. On the steering wheel, on the left, we do have our volume, skip track, phone options, and voice commands. And off to the right, we have our selectors and go back for that gauge cluster screen. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, headlight switch, and gauge dimmer switch. And moving out of the door, we have lock and unlock, power mirrors, and power windows. Moving into the center, we get our 2 climate control vents with our hazard switch, and we get a touchscreen infotainment. So this was pretty nice for 2010. Way before Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so it is a semi-rudimentary system. It's not going to play too well with your modern music tech. However, it does work. Down below that, we do have our climate controls, single zone climate, temperature off to the left, fan speed in the center, where to send it off to the right, but we do have heated seats, and I have to say, the heated seats in this car will burn you out of the car. I had to turn mine off. I love heated seats. You will sometimes catch me in the middle of summer with a heated seat on. Not the case here. It is still frigidly cold outside, and yet the 3rd level of heated seat was actually too much for little old Zacky Poo. and I promise I'll never refer to myself as that again. Moving down below, we have a cubby space, we have our traction control off button, shifter in the center, and cup holders, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test, and it fails. Pretty much every Volkswagen product does, so no surprise there. Then we do have a center console and the seats. The seats are power and heated. Very, very nice to see that. As I mentioned, that heated seat is absolutely wicked, but I like it. You know, overall, I think it's a relatively comfortable car, comfortable seat, and I like that quite a bit. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, getting in the back of the Jetta TDI Mark V, and I have locked myself out of it, which is a pretty common occurrence here on the channel. There we go. And stepping inside. Yeah, not tons of space here in the back of the Mark V. We do get 2 climate vents. That's very nice. And we get the same, you know, seat material found up front. We have our own lock and unlock on the rear doors. I don't know why automakers do this. I don't know why they find the need for that, but I guess that's nice. We do have some lights up above, and we can pull the center console down. It does not want to come down, but I assume that there's cup holders in there. So nothing too crazy, but again, not great seat space. My head is coming close to the ceiling, but not hitting it. I felt the same way about the Audi A6 that I just got out of. So maybe it's just a German car thing that they don't really have a lot of leg room, but they have a lot of headroom. I don't know. But that is just my personal experience in the back here of the Mark V Jetta TDI. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Right around the back of the Mark V Jetta, we do have a button here on the key fob to pop the trunk, and then you just lift it up like this, and it's pretty plain and simple. Tons of space. Absolutely love how much space they give you in the back of the Jetta TDI. Really, really love that. But again, you know, nothing groundbreaking. I'm not dropping my pearls or clenching my pearls, dropping my pearls. What's the saying? Whatever it is. I'm not clenching my pearls when looking at this. I think this is a very, very adequate amount of space, especially for a mid-size to almost somewhat compact sedan. This is plenty. So you have this little reminder up here to pull from inside, which is kind of hard to do. Come on. Come on. There we go. Good grief. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I really, really like the look of this Jetta, mainly because I just love the Mark V Jetta / Golf. I think it's proportioned really, really well. I do have a lot of nostalgia with it. One of my best friends growing up, Andy, actually had a Mark V GTI, which was one of the earliest reviews I ever filmed, and that was in North Carolina. Shout out to you, Andy. I hope you're doing well. So, like, I have nostalgia with this body style. I think it's handsome enough and simple enough. I think it definitely looks better than the Mark IV. The Mark IV is a little too blocky. And I think the Mark VI is just an evolution of this, and I think the Mark VII is even an evolution of that. So, I like this quite a bit. I think it looks presentable, although it does unfortunately have the typical Mark V fender rust that they all get. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Jetta TDI that is not tuned nor deleted? Well, I have to say I am still very happily surprised. As I mentioned at the top of the video, I was expecting this to fall flat on its face and tumble down the staircase. I expected so little out of this car because tuning it and deleting it really wakes the car up. I have a Golf that was tuned and deleted. I'll leave that at the end of this video. And it's just like so good in every single way. You have torque for days, tons of power, but you also get great fuel efficiency. It's like one of the best all-around cars I think I've ever reviewed. And so I was expecting to drive this and just be like, oh, it's so awful. It's not. It's not awful. It's still good. It still gets good fuel economy. Even when it's been nerfed and neutered by the government, it still gets good fuel economy. It still performs well. It still does its job. That's incredible. When you can handle a slap on the wrist and still perform up near the top of your class, that is a true sign of beautiful engineering and a fantastic automobile. And that's what this car is. Even when it's been hit over the back of the head several times, when it's been yelled at and grounded by their mother, it still does well. You know, this is the kid that gets grounded and goes upstairs and creates beautiful works of art with chalk and pencil because all they have is time and a frivolous brain. That is what these are like, and that is what I love about this car. It is so incredibly good, even at its worst, boring, bad spot. So hey, props to the Jetta. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Parker for letting me borrow his Jetta for today's video. He's been absolutely wonderful. I also reviewed his Audi A6 as well as his BMW X5, so keep an eye out for those videos here on the channel. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.